What you are about to learn is not just an insider tip, it's a shock that will tear the cinematic universe to shreds. Forget everything you knew about the future of Spider-Man. 5 years ago, this would have been considered the ravings of a lunatic, but today, it is cruel reality. A genuine earthquake is happening in Hollywood, and at its epicenter is your favorite, but as it turns out, unneeded by Marvel Studios, actor Tom Holland, the sweet, charming, but now rejected Spider-Man, has been kicked out of the biggest movie of the next decade. Out of Avengers Doomsday. Yes, you heard right. The studio that should have been pampering him showed him the door to make way for a veteran. For the legendary, but somewhat forgotten, Tobey Maguire. This is not just a cameo, my friends. This is a replacement, a real humiliating coup. While Tom Holland is waiting for his solo film, which is reportedly stuck like an old rusty tank, Tobey Maguire is already preparing to put on the red and blue suit to become the main Spider-Man in the most grandiose team-up movie. Tom, in the background, Tobey, in the spotlight. Why did Marvel commit such a betrayal? The answer is simple, and as always in Hollywood, cynical, money, billions. Experiments with new, tolerant, and modern heroes such as She-Hulk and Captain Marvel lost with a deafening crash. The audience is vomiting from boredom and irritation. The old fanbase is fleeing in droves. The cinematic universe is in crisis, and Marvel, like a sinking ship, is grasping at a straw, and that straw is nostalgia. The name of this nostalgia is Tobey Maguire. Remember what happened after No Way Home? The whole world went crazy over a single shot featuring Tobey and Andrew Garfield. That moment caused more excitement than the entire Phase 4 combined. This is a verdict. The audience thirsts for real, time-tested heroes, not pale parodies. The return of Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom is just a smokescreen. Yes, his name is synonymous with billion-dollar box office, and Marvel, realizing this, is ready to make him a villain or a cat. But the true invincible bet is on Maguire's Spider, and here, friends, the situation is even more revealing. Rumors of Spider-Man 4 with Tobey are no longer just rumors. It is reality, supported by the most powerful lobby in the highest offices of Hollywood, and we are not talking about some no-names. Just listen. Sam Raimi, the man who created that legendary trilogy, is openly stating his interest, and Tobey Maguire himself, this eternally young father of all modern superheroes, is ready to return immediately. But he has a condition, and it is ironclad. He will only return if Raimi is in the director's chair. This is an inseparable tandem, and Marvel Sony know it. But that's not all. Hold on tight. Thomas Hayden Church, that very Sandman, in one interview let slip a secret that Sony Studio has been trying to hide for years. Sony still has an option on him. That is a legal clause in the contract for participation in the fourth film, specifically with Tobey Maguire. Not in a Holland film, not in some stupid spin-off, but in a direct sequel to Tobey's line. This is irrefutable proof that Sony has been keeping this option ready for many years. They were simply waiting for the moment, and that moment has come. Against the backdrop of the shameful failures of Madam Web, Morbius, and other cinematic trash, as well as the general fatigue from new pale faces, the door for Tobey has swung open. Who is the great eminence who is currently rumored to be pushing the Tobey Maguire project? It's not just the old guard. Mattson Tomlin has entered the game. You may not know his name, but you certainly know his work. He is one of the co-writers of the script for Matt Reeves' cult hit The Batman, and he, friends, is obsessed with the idea. He is a fan of the Raimi-verse. Mattson Tomlin is a knife in the back of the teenage, lighthearted version of Spider-Man that Holland was imposing on us. Look at his activity on social media. He is literally shouting that he wants to write a story about an adult Peter Parker, a spider who has to balance superhero duties and attention, the duties of a husband and father. Do you understand what this means? This is a direct challenge. It's a spit in the face of everyone who is tired of the next teenage sitcom. Mattson Tomlin wants a mature, adult story. A story that shows what the true burden of a superhero looks like. This maturity, according to the studio and fans, is catastrophically lacking in the current Spider. According to the latest data, Tomlin has already been actively communicating with both Raimi and Sony Pictures. The situation is developing slowly, but surely. It's like a boiling cauldron, and it's about to explode. And now let's return to the loudest, most incredible rumor that is keeping all insiders awake. The replacement of Tom Holland in Avengers Doomsday. At first glance, this is lunacy. Tom has a current contract. His solo film is supposedly in development, so why replace him? And here lies the devil in this triangle of betrayal. Firstly, the relationship between Marvel and Sony is currently stressed to the limit over the Spider rights. It is a never-ending war for billions. Secondly, the production of Holland's new solo film is reportedly horribly stuck. There are conflicts, there is dissatisfaction. Holland has become inconvenient. And thirdly, the most cynical and ruthless argument, the multiverse. The multiverse. This is now the perfect lie shot for Marvel. They can say at any moment, sorry friends, but for this film we needed a spider from another dimension. The Maguire version specifically, and that's it. Holland is formally not fired, his contract is not violated, but he is simply shown the door for the main, most important team-up film. This is humiliation. It's a cold-blooded calculation. Why? Because Tobey Maguire is a guarantee. He is that old friend who is better than two new ones. Marvel is in such a desperate position that they need not just a hero, but a symbol, and Tobey is a symbol of a whole era that evokes a colossal genuine nostalgia. Moreover, it's a synergy effect. If Sony is shooting their Spider-Man 4 with Tobey, his appearance in the Avengers will be the main wow bomb. Billions will flow like a river. This is ruthless business, and there is no room for sentimentality towards young talent. So, what do we have? We stand on the threshold of a great nostalgic restoration. Marvel is reversing its failed experiments. She-Hulks and other toxic characters are being thrown into the trash can. Old heroes are returning to the throne, and if they are willing to take such a radical, cruel step as replacing their main current Spider with a veteran, then, my friends, their business is truly bad. They are sinking and are ready to step over heads to save themselves. We talk about the Marvel crisis, but let's dig deeper. This is not just unsuccessful heroes. This is the disease of the cinematic universe that has been called Phase 4 disease. Viewers are tired of the endless stream of mediocre series and films, of monotonous plots, of teenage dramas. Films have stopped being an event. The numbers don't lie. Revenues have collapsed. Not only outright failures, but also films that previously brought in billions are barely scraping by with decent box office numbers. And the studio, realizing this, understood. The reason is that they lost their soul. They lost the maturity that Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and of course Tobey Maguire brought with them. That's why Mattson Tomlin's idea of an adult Peter Parker is a life raft. Wife, and children, mortgage and rent. That's what interests the adult viewer, not another school adventure. Holland, with all due respect to him, is stuck in this teenage hell. And now imagine the contrast. On one side, Tom Holland, a sweet guy who can't solve his problems without Iron Man. On the other side, Tobey Maguire, an adult man who carries the burden of family and superheroism on his shoulders. Which of them is the real hero? The answer is obvious, and Marvel has finally admitted it. That's why Doomsday is not just a film title. It is Judgment Day for Tom Holland. It is his humiliating banishment. The studio that should have protected him betrayed him for the sake of billions from nostalgia. While Marvel is frantically looking for ways to save its revenue, Sony is playing a double game. They are masters of contractual intrigue. On the one hand, they support Holland's stalled solo film to save face. On the other hand, they are actively lobbying for the Spider-Man 4 project with Tobey. Why? Because for Sony, the Tobey Maguire project is a gold mine. Their own cinematic universe without Spider-Man, Morbius, Madam Web has failed with a deafening crash. They need the real Spider, not his pale shadow. And attention, Hollywood insiders are reporting a sensational date. Unofficially, but very persistently, it is being discussed that the studio is targeting the release of Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire in December 2027. December 2027. Remember this date. It could be a Christmas gift for fans and a death knell for the Holland version. Tobey's appearance in Avengers Doomsday, which will be released in May 2027, will be the perfect launchpad for his solo film in December 2027. This is a calculated, cynical, impeccable business plan for draining money from nostalgia. And what about Holland? His solo film, which is stalled, could either be postponed indefinitely or, even worse, turned into a spin-off about the young Spider who was forced to stay on Earth while the real Spider, Tobey, saves the multiverse. Humiliating. But the sensation of replacing Holland is just the tip of the iceberg. It is only the first stage of a grandiose, behind-the-scenes conspiracy. Marvel has realized that they cannot survive without the old guard, Robert Downey Jr. as the villain, Tobey Maguire as the main Spider. Who's next? Insiders are screaming that secret negotiations are underway with Chris Evans. Captain America could return, not as Sam Wilson, whom the audience is not thrilled with by the way, but as the real, legendary Steve Rogers. The idea is simple and cruel. Replace all the unloved, toxic, and unprofitable new characters with proven golden veterans. She-Hulk, Captain Marvel, and yes, even Tom Holland. They are becoming victims of nostalgia and the greed of a studio that is hysterically afraid of losing its billions. This is nostalgic terror, and it has only just begun. If Marvel is willing to betray its main young actor to save itself, then they are ready for anything. This is a trial for the cinematic universe, and only the symbols of the era can save it. The internet has exploded. Fans are divided into two camps. Some are screaming about the betrayal of Tom Holland. How can they do this to an actor who has done so much for Spider-Man? They wail. Others are rejoicing. They thirst to see the adult, mature, real Spider-Man Tobey. For them, this is salvation. Salvation from teenage drama. Salvation from the boring Phase 4. Nostalgia wins, and this is the main lesson for Hollywood. The audience is tired of experiments. The audience wants proven emotions, chronicled stories, familiar faces, and of course, we are waiting for the official denial from Marvel or Sony. They will surely say that it's just rumors, that Holland remains our Spider. But my friends, we already know the truth. We know about the Sandman contract, about Tom Lin's lobbying, and about the studio's panic. This official denial will be a pathetic, worthless lie to calm the market and prepare the fans for the inevitable, for the triumphant return of Tobey Maguire and the shameful banishment of Tom Holland from the main film. Tobey Maguire is more than just Spider-Man. He is a symbol of hope. For a whole generation, he is the ticket to the world of superheroes. His return is a breath of fresh air for a gasping cinematic universe. He is capable of restoring the audience's faith in comic book movies. But like any great return, it has its moral cost. And that price is the career of a young actor, the career of Tom Holland. He has become a pawn in this cruel Hollywood game. Marvel and Sony cynically use his youth and charming image as long as he brings them money. But as soon as things went wrong, they ruthlessly discarded him like a used toy for the guaranteed nostalgic success of Tobey. This is a lesson in cruelty that Hollywood teaches us. Money above all else. Loyalty, friendship, promises, all this crumbles in the face of billion-dollar losses. What should be in Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 4 to finally sink the Holland version? Mature drama. Mattson Tomlin's script should be an emotional shock for fans. Adult Peter Parker. His pain of balancing between saving the world and fatherly duties. The betrayal of loved ones due to his secret. Real adult life problems overlaid with the burden of a superhero. This will be a genuine, impactful film, not a lightweight blockbuster, and it is this emotional depth that will finally show how superficial Holland's adventures were. Tobey Maguire wins again. He is a symbol of quality. He is a symbol of maturity, and his appearance in the Avengers is a coronation. Now imagine the final picture. Avengers, Doomsday, the main villain, Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom, the main hero, at the spearhead of the attack. Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. Two titans, two legends who brought Marvel billions. This is their last hope. This is the golden cage strategy to trap the audience in theaters using the strongest, most familiar images. They have returned to save Marvel, and Tom Holland is just the first casualty on the way to this triumphant restoration. This is the end of the era of failed experiments. This is the beginning of the reign of nostalgia. Well, friends, how do you like this turn of events? Betrayal, banishment, the return of legends. This is not just news, it's a drama worthy of Shakespeare. Tom Holland, kicked out. Tobey Maguire triumphantly returns. Marvel in a panic. Sony playing a double game. Marvel's True Judgment Day will arrive in May 2027. Write in the comments right now, who are you for? The veteran or the outcast? Subscribe, give a thumbs up, and let's follow this sensation together. Thank you to everyone who was with us.